How you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. Wow, it's been a long one. If you guys did not notice, yes, the Surge, I got the Platinum Trophy. I should tell you about this. So last night, yeah, literally was last night, at about 6 o'clock PM time, I started playing this game from the beginning, fresh completely. And I never played this game before in my life, so it's something very unique and new to me. So I started playing it, and you know, I played it till 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, it's weekend, why the hell not? And so I woke up and I was like thinking, you know what, I'm gonna continue playing it. So I did. I finished the game. In fact, I did so much. I played it twice. I played through twice because the Platinum Trophy. God damn it. And there are some other stuff that I unfortunately have missed upon because, well, there's two endings that you need to do and requires of you to do. One of them is simply installing a virus into the rocket that it launches off, or you don't do anything to it. Here you go, two endings that are pretty much identical, just with different voice recordings. I don't know, it's dumb, it's shit. The ending is not very good. I should mention the cinematic approaches. The beginning was awesome. Seriously, like when the agony and the pain that the guy goes through when he gets this exosuit drilled into him, and while he's awake, that was brutal. That was brutal. Yeah, none of that is ever happened again, by the way, guys. None of that. There's no cinematics after that. The only cinematics that you can consider, or ish, maybe the end, but that's very poor and very lackluster. I should mention as well the bosses, the main bosses. They are all disappointments. They really are, and guess how many there are? About 4 to 5. It's like a DLC for Bloodborne, 4 to 5 bosses, main bosses, sorry. And here it's a full game for 5. It's disappointing. Now there's also about 4 or 5 of the you know, the areas that you can go through, and they all pretty much take place in a closed vicinity. Anywhere you go, anywhere, like the environment, actually I should mention, is all different. And they look beautiful, like the aesthetic and the characters you go progress through. Maybe like you equip some kind of different armor, as an example, right? It actually looks really good, and they all have a giant difference between them. So this biggest feature that this game embarks on, for example, the dismemberment. Dismemberment is insane in this game. It really works and it feels fantastic. You guys might already know it, so just give you a really quick example. So when you basically try to cut off somebody's head off, and he has a helmet as well, you can pretty much keep that helmet for yourself and you can equip it. That's how the premise works. It's not 100% guarantees all the time. Maybe you have a question as well. What if you already have that helmet but you do it again? Then you'll get a component for it to upgrade it. This very same helmet. That's pretty cool. It's a nice touch. Different elements, for example, right? Dismemberment, right? The armors, the chest, all the limbs like you have, like hands and legs. Yes, you can do all of that as well. Torso, that's including. Now, there's a very cool uniqueness to this game that this does have a differentiation from the Bloodborne or Dark Souls as a whole, right? Let's say Nioh. Right, Nioh has a uniqueness to how you can have a posture, different types of posture, right? A heavy attack, medium attack, and a light attack. So, as an example, in this game, the main element I want to mention again is the dismemberment, and that you can pretty much equip any component that you see on the enemy for yourself. That's a selling point. I do want to mention as well regarding how the map and the layout works. It's very similar to Dark Souls and Bloodborne. It's actually closer. I want to say this. The Surge is far closer of the game I've ever played to Dark Souls games. Very, very close. Too damn close. Nioh is much further away from both of these games. Nioh is like more of a arcade-ish, if that makes any sense, the approach, but also it's not, because like the map I'm talking about, right? I'm not talking about how the gameplay goes. Oh, I should mention this. Gameplay, how it feels. There's an option that you can go for the quality or performance. Obviously I will go for the performance, so it's kind of getting you to the 60 FPS, but I really doubted it was actually 60 FPS. And I definitely want to mention this as well, that frame rates, I don't I never really felt an issue with frame rates. I didn't encounter with any of them. It was really good. It was quite unique as well. After playing the game through once, and after just starting up the game second time, because I did it as a new game plus mode, not as a new character, you know, you just breeze right through. That's why I finished the game completely. In fact, I should mention this. The first time when I was playing this game, the walkthrough of my own, I want to mention that I actually tried to go for 100% completion. And at this point, I don't think I got every single thing in this game, but I definitely guarantee you this, that at least I got like 95% of the items in this game, for sure. Because I got pretty much everything, I'm sure of that. Now, what's awesome about this as well, that it gives you incentivization that anytime you find a new recordings or new journals or whatnot, right, you obviously you can learn about that's lore, and lore is very interesting. I wanted always to figure out what the hell is happening, because mind you, right, this game with the story, it's kind of non-existent. It's pretty much the lore factor, right? It's not the strongest suit for this game. Similar like with Dark Souls as an example, right? Oh, I should mention this actually. This game doesn't really try to be more of a cinematic approach. Like anytime you want to actually go into a cinematic mode, you literally have to hold the button just to have that perspective, like a cinematic mode. Like in Dark Souls and any other game at this point, I feel like it just, you know, kind of forces you into it. And I mean, I don't mind it either way, but I actually thought it was not necessary. Of course, this game will have these sort of quests as well, right? You have to look for the stuff for the people to get like proper components or missing equipment, you know, helping each other out. You have an option, obviously, again, you can do it or you don't have to at all. But I had to do it since I was going for the platinum. I'm not sure if I have mentioned this already, but since the environments are all different and they take places in different areas, right? Like the way of you actually going to point A to point B, you know, let's say if you need to go to a different area completely, you use the train station, you use the train. Oh, that's a nice segue. Regarding that, the trains that you can, you know, partake and go through to different areas, environments and stuff, you know, the enemies, right? They cannot actually go to new rooms. So that was kind of limiting for them anyway. And I could, you know, anybody could actually expose this glitch or, you know, use this to their advantage, right? You can just pass through right along with, you know, through the enemies. You don't even have to bother with them. That's kind of what I did for my second playthrough. My first playthrough, I killed every single thing I saw, no matter what. Boss, no matter what it was. Mini boss, big boss, smaller enemies, whoever it was. Oh yes, I definitely want to mention variations of enemies as well. I like the way closer you get to the 50% of the game that you already completed, the bosses and maybe enemies I want to mention, they get different aesthetic design. They are more upgraded. They look different. And as well, they have different combat styles as well. For example, there's like a robotic dog looking thing anyway. At first when you meet him, whatever it is, he basically jumps right at you. He does deal a lot of damage. Actually, all the enemies in here deal a lot of damage on you. No matter how good is your gear, seriously. I fully upgrade my gear and yet they still could obliterate me like with 3 or 4 hits. Well, that's on a good day. Also, regarding the dogs back again, right? There's 2 variations of dogs. At first half of the game, he's more simplistic, more predictable. The second half of the game, he has less jumping styles to him, but he uses some kind of electric shockwave that he can stagger you and lock you in until he gets close to make a solid hit on you, unfortunately. But so the variations of enemies, it's not like giant, it's not small either. It's just right, I want to mention, but because how the enemies take care of themselves, for example, that they all have different aesthetic of the equipment, they all seem different. They seem different, but I don't know if that's the fact though. Now let's get into the factor of the platinum trophy and how that was experienced for me. You know what? This is nothing special. You know, it's nothing like memorable. For example, say like in Bloodborne, right? I had to go through this labyrinth, for example, the dungeons, right? I still remember to this day, it was extremely repetitive and irritating as hell. I hated every single minute of it. I really did not like just that one component aspect. It was extremely repetitive. This game actually was not really repetitive to me. It's a nice touch actually, when I think about it. But this as well is not very memorable, unfortunately. Meaning that this game is simply not gonna go well for many people. Yeah. I'm not sure if I have mentioned about this, since that this game is so short and I finished it so quickly as well. Mind you, it's like a DLC of Bloodborne. That's how long it felt like, seriously, to me. And that was disappointing. I'm still very hesitant about this Surge 2 thing. Now I'm going to have to wait it out and wait for the reviews, wait for the deep sale as well, if that's how the game's going to be turning out to be with the length. That's quite disappointing in my personal opinion. And anyway, I want to mention that the final boss, specifically, you're watching the gameplay of him right now. No. I actually really did not have too many issues with the camera. A lot of people actually were saying that the camera was like all over the place. You can't really target on the specific enemies, bosses, blah blah blah. Oh, it was so frustrating, blah blah blah. No, not for me. I don't think I had that kind of difficulties. I think it might have been because a lot of people were arguing about this and saying it was bullshit. It's because the bosses are very inconsistent, and you know, you can never really predict what they're going to do next minute or so. But also is because when they stomp on you, for example, because there's a giant robots really kind of stomping on you. Yeah, so basically you can just get obliterated, and then you just have like question marks all over your head, and you'll be like thinking, what the hell happened? Now Platinum Trophy was well back at it again. Wow, I'm so sorry guys. I'm going sideways everywhere, sidetracking all over the place. I do apologize about this. The game is just that. It's the game. It's for you to enjoy if you want to have a replacement of Dark Souls, or perhaps maybe you're waiting for the next Dark Souls or From Software game. That's what the Surge is really about. The Surge 2, again, I'm gonna wait it out. Now, I wanted to mention, since I've got the Platinum Trophy on this game, I think my next game is going to be Code Vein. Yeah, probably. And then Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That game is gonna take me like 60 hours. Jeez, I'm gonna take it easy with that game, because the Surge, I went nuts with the platinum on this. But yeah, oh my god, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. The Sekiro, I'm gonna have to wait it out. Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy. I think it's gonna take like 50 to 60 hours of playthrough, because I do know that you need to do a new game plus mode on that game as well. And that's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal. I'm gonna love it. I'm sure of that. Because From Software, what do you expect? Alright, well, that's all. I guess I included a bit of, actually it was a whole thing, more or less of a review as well, of the Surge as well, too many as well. And man, and the Platinum Trophy, I'm so tired. Alright, well guys, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna go to sleep. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and have a good one.